So one of my most highly requested videos from you guys is asking me to explain how I got over 10,000 stars in just 1 month of playing Dress to Impress. And it's not like I went from like 10,000 stars to 20,000. I went from 0 being a complete noob to now almost a runway diva in just over a month. So let me tell you what I've learned, and hopefully you guys can take these things and apply them yourself. And a big thing I want to mention is this was done with no farming. I didn't just sit in a server with people that vote 60 stars around. It was all just my own work and learning new skills and tricks and getting a lot of podium spots, to be honest. So I just joined a random free play server so we can kind of just hang out. But as you can see here, I am at 12,800 stars and it's absolutely crazy. Not only am I new to Dress to Impress, I'm also just new to Roblox in general. So I'm just gonna do a maybe magical or mystical outfit with you guys while I talk about how I got here. So I think the first thing to mention is this is not just a video about how to get 10,000 stars. This is how I got it done in less than a month. So I'm going to be talking about the most practical way to do it. My first tip, honestly, is getting all the game passes. Like, that was one of the first things I did personally, because I had this like thing about wanting to be able to do something but then not having the game pass, so I would just get it. I think all the game passes are worth it. Custom makeup, I think, is #1 on how you are going to be more likely to get on podium. Then run faster, then VIP. I think VIP is like 3rd on the list. Then it is the increased item limit, then tune times money, because custom makeup, if I want to do a purple look, I am so limited in my options. Like, the only colorful looks they have are like this and this and this. With custom makeup, if you want to be like a purple elf fairy, you can do this, and it is just such a big difference. To give yourself the biggest bang for your buck is getting all the game passes, honestly. The reason why walk speed is just so important is because you can do double the things in the same amount of time. You're literally doubling your speed when you go to 100. So let me just show you guys how I did this look. I'm probably not gonna be able to match it completely, but so I think a really important thing in general is just like practice, but you might be used to practicing in like free play like I am right now. But no, the main thing for building up your stars pretty fast is practicing, but in the regular servers, in the VIP servers. If you make it to pro, practice in pro. Do not make your whole thing about like getting first place or podium. Still try and get on theme, but practice, because when you are playing only in free play mode, you're kind of just restricted to your own imagination. You're not able to get any inspiration from like other people. So that's why I think it's pretty important to practice in your regular servers, because then for the practice you're doing, you are gaining stars. The other thing is looking on social media or TikTok, because when you look at other places, it's again getting inspired by other people, learning new tips and tricks, learning new hair combos or item combos. So this is pretty much the same as the look I did here. So that is that. Learning layering is very, very important as well. So we're just gonna go a bright purple look here. And I'm gonna do one of my favorite hair combos. So finding the hair combos you like, playing around with it, not worrying if you're gonna be perfect or not, because that's how you learn. So this is like something I love to do, and I like to make the front pieces a little bit more fun. I wanna add a flowy wavy hair here, make it animated, and it's like, don't be afraid to not do exactly what you were planning. Just play around with things. So the reason why playing with other people is so important is I never had used this like gem makeup look or these little dots in the face. And I remember I was playing with someone, they did that. I was like, oh my God, how'd you do that face look? And then she was like, oh, these like little beads are in the mask makeup part. And I was like, no way, never would have figured it out. That's how I learned about texture and stuff. I never knew about these. I never used them when I first was playing. So already in itself, practicing custom makeup, practicing hair combos, playing with other players to get inspiration, textures, playing around with these textures can make such a difference in your outfit. So for example, we are gonna put on this dress, and I'm just gonna have it be dark purple, just like that, with a bright purple there. So that is how it looks just with those colors on it. But now I want to show you the difference of how it's going to look like when I just make everything foil. So let's just add some foil. See that difference already? It already is giving like a jellyfish, and I didn't do anything but just add texture to it. Whereas default mode, it just looks so flat. So that is some ways that you can really improve your outfits and make it look like you're trying really, really hard, but you're not. Another thing is learning layering. We would maybe put these shoes, and again, we'd go dark purple with the bright purple. And again, that's cute, but you know what can elevate it? Adding glitter. along with foil. Whereas if that was all plain, it would be very, very boring. We're also gonna add some layering, playing around with layering as well. Making sure you find different toggles so that when a theme comes, you're aware of already what you'd wanna do is really, really important. So for example, I need to make sure I match this color here. So remembering the colors you use as well. So that blends in seamlessly. Going to make all the colors the same dark purple, and then going to use the lace as the highlight and make sure I add my foil texture. So already just by simply adding foil, making it custom makeup, I look a lot better than I am. So people are gonna think I'm very talented and like vote me higher. Another key thing is jewelry. Just simply by adding jewelry, you're likely to get higher votes. If I do a look and I forget jewelry and it just looks bare, I notice I get less votes. So as soon as I started realizing which jewelry works with certain outfits, it like clicked for me. So for example, a great item are these chains. It can add such a subtle amount of detail without you even realizing. Another thing that is so overpowered, one of my most favorite things in this game, is the new Valentine set, but jewels only. That is just so stunning. So it was so plain before, but now I kind of know what I'm doing. I kind of look a little bit more professional, if that makes sense. Another great thing is just more layering. We'll make that the bright purple, add foil. It just makes layering is huge. And don't be afraid of experimenting with layering in the regular servers and having people vote you last place. I think that's the biggest thing, is people try to get as good as they can in free play, but then you miss out on all the stars you would have got if you had just been practicing in regular servers and don't take the voting too personally. So this skirt we've layered with, we're also gonna add this corset. Again, keep that bright. I'm gonna make the middle part glitter this time. And as you can see here, there's kind of been a theme with me choosing dark and light colors. If you can match colors pretty much. So for example, you have this dress, choose like a color on the palette here. It's if you want to save time, especially when you're beginning. Don't worry about like picking the colors through this part, but play around with just increasing brightness and decreasing brightness, because that'll keep your look looking cohesive. Another thing is a jellyfish skirt you can't go wrong with. We're going to add that, gonna add foil to it. Now, like I said, layering. We're going to add some elf ears. Those stick out, but that's such a little detail. So really spend your time on details if you can. Practice, practice, practice. We're going to add these antlers, same thing. Make them dark purple with some bright purple highlight, just like that. Gorgeous. Actually, I need to make sure my look is cohesive, so I'm actually going to change the gem to be white. See how the jewelry all matches? So see how I'm making this look and all the things I've been practicing with. If I'm in free play right now, I don't get any reward for it. So again, we're going to add this skirt with this, and I'm going to make it glitter this time. After you have game passes, after you have been practicing, really make sure that you get codes, especially if you're a new player. I played my first maybe 1,000 stars without knowing anything about code items, and I searched the entire world for them, I swear, to make sure I could get everything. Oh my god, this person's blocking me. See, someone just said, wow, that fit eats. I said, thank you, still working on it. I've only been playing a month, and just look at that head layering. We're also going to add a crown, possibly. That's a code item. Add this crown as well. Let's make it that high. It's just so stunning. Everything is just cohesive here. The gems are all the same color. I'm actually realizing I should maybe make the lace on this skirt white to make it look a little bit more cohesive, you know what I mean? The next thing I'm going to add is this cape, and we're just going for a typical like non-human look. I do a lot of human looks, don't get me wrong. Oh my god, this person keeps blocking me. I'm gonna see if I can find a pattern for this maybe. So really utilizing patterns, textures, it makes you look like you know more than you do. Like sometimes I feel like a fake, but a lot of the time with the purple looks I do, I can't find patterns I like. So I tend to use a texture, and you get a foil and it works, man, it works. See, between these two colors, I can't figure out which one I want, so I'm just gonna play around with brightness. I'm thinking we do this as purple, we add some white here so it can really pop and look like lace, and here we're gonna do a brighter part and we're gonna foil it, man. So everything is just starting to come together, and it's a lot less complicated when you break it down into the little pieces. I also feel like adding this bow to have a little bit more texture on my legs, and I'm going to foil them just like that. So just subtle details can really, really make a difference. Now let's get some arm stuff. So I'm going to actually do multiple things. So I'm going to get these sleeves. I think I'm going to make them the dark purple. I'm going to make them silk though. I'm going to make the cuff of the sleeve bright purple, so it kind of blends in with my skin. Then I'm going to add these sleeves on top from the Valentine's Day corset set and keep it the same purple here, but then make this part like a highlight. So it's kind of giving like a fish, you know? I'm going to see if I can add this bra here to get more jewels. And yeah, it's just completely stunning. Like, this is gorgeous. We could also add so much more, but I feel like it's just gonna get too complicated for this video. So yeah, this is the final fit. It's kind of giving jellyfish, kind of giving non-human. And let's just get a pose out, maybe the celestial one, just like that. And that is the fit. This is what I've learned in this past month through practicing in regular servers, getting all the game passes, playing around with textures, patterns, not being afraid to fail, not being afraid to know nothing and completely come in last place, but then also learning from others. See how this girl asked me, she was like, hey, what do you think of these shoes with this fit? And I was like, oh, that looks so cute, would be great for Coquette. That's when playing with other players helps. Look up a lot of tutorials on TikTok, Instagram, get all the code items. So this is just your perfect mix of regular items with VIP, with code, custom makeup, and you are fully capable of getting here. All these things I've mentioned contributed to me going from 0 to 10,000 stars. Now, the difference is though, is from 10,000 stars to 13,000 stars, I did quite quickly as well. And that's a whole different thing because that involves Style Showdown. But Style Showdown is an insane way to get stars without farming, because if you win, you literally get 100 stars per round. So that's something I suggest if you've kind of already know all about this stuff, and let's say you're at like 7,000 stars. You already know about layering, you already have code items, you've already mastered custom makeup and textures and patterns and color theory. Not color theory, but like adjusting brightness is a different color, because this is all the same purple, just with different brightnesses, believe it or not. Now we're gonna do a fun little thing where I show you guys what this would have looked like if I didn't really layer, I didn't really use jewelry, I didn't really do that much. So let's take off this hair, this hair, this hair, we just keep it to one hair, this jewelry. Let's take off the cape, we'll take off the bows, we'll take off these sleeves. Let's take this off. We will just keep this crown on. So don't get me wrong, this is adorable. It's still very, very cute, but it doesn't give the same vibe. The other thing is, let's just make everything default, completely remove all the patterns. Huge difference. This is probably how I used to dress when I thought I was eating, which this is still eating, but it's not the same. It's just not the same. And these are pretty much all the same items. I even removed the jewelry because the jewelry in itself, a lot of people don't realize has such a big, big effect. And not just have to have this face on, like it makes such a difference. It just makes such a difference. But ultimately, I think the factor it comes down to at the end of the day is time. I play an hour or two, or sometimes even more every day. So if you're the type of person where you can only play 30 minutes a day, you're just not going to be able to get it done in a month. But if you're like me and you play a couple hours every day on your free time, instead of watching Netflix, instead of watching a movie, you'll be able to do it. Because if you do the math, that's about what, 300 stars a day? If you do 10,000 stars divided by 31 days, that's just over 300 stars a day. So that's the reality of it. And the thing is the more you play, the better you become and the more likely you are to get first place. A huge thing as well is making sure you are in good servers. If you notice that a server is not voting that great, just leave it and join a new one. And usually you'll find servers that people are voting each other not to farm, okay? It's not 60 stars, but everyone's getting around like 20, 30 for first place, which is fair because it's like if you're on theme and you're doing well, you should be getting a 4-star or a 5-star. It's like only if your fits are really bad should it be 1. So yeah, that's how I'm almost a runway diva. I'm planning on making a series where I play until we get Runway Diva together, because that's going to be really fun. And yeah, hopefully this helped. Remember, this was not a video about how to get 10,000 stars in general. It was how I got it in just a month. So this was simply just how to get it as quick as possible, but without farming, and that you actually still deserve your rank. Because I do feel like I dress like a trendsetter. There's a lot of people that are trendsetters, but they don't actually dress like a trendsetter. So yeah. I don't know. Hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any questions down below, and I look forward to making more videos for you guys. So if you enjoyed, please hit the thumbs up and please subscribe if you haven't yet. And with that being said, I'll see you soon.